What's up, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today for a look at the Superman by Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason Omnibus from DC Comics. So, let's take a look at this. And welcome back, everybody. So here we have the Superman by Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason Omnibus. So glad they included Patrick Gleason's name, as he is not just one of the biggest artists in the book, but also the co-plotter of this and then the spin-off series, Super Sons. So all of Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason's work on Superman is collected in here. I'm going to do a comparison to the deluxe editions and talk about what's missing in here, as well as kind of give you a little synopsis into what this run is and when to read it. I may have to talk about just a little bit of a spoiler, but I will let you know ahead of time before I do that. But here is what the back looks like. The book retails for $125. Here's the spine. There's something I want to say about the spine here in a second. And then this beautiful piece here in the front. So let's go back to the spine. Now, one thing that probably comes to mind when you're looking at the spine, the yellow on red, is that, hey, this looks like a McDonald's ketchup package. It's poor designs. I happen to like this. This looks awesome. As a matter of fact, it looks great when it's next to the Batman and Robin by Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason Omnibus. That's awesome. It's like they thought ahead of time. And to me, just visually, it looks great. They will look great on the shelf together. And yes, I mean, of course, it still kind of looks like the colors of the McDonald's ketchup packages. But anyway, look at that. That's beautiful. Now, the other thing I'm going to be doing is comparing it to these deluxe editions. All four of these make up this omnibus, and it is slimmer. Well, that's not just because of the hardboards, but actually there's some missing issues. And we'll talk about those issues and how important they are to the run. But let's go back to this. Take this dust jacket off. Here are your dust jacket flaps. Beautiful artwork here. And here is what it looks like underneath the dust jacket with some more awesome images by Patrick Gleason. So let's get this open and talk a little bit about this story. So let's get this opened. Here's what the bookend pages look like. Love that image. That image always gives me goosebumps, mainly because of the words in here. Here are the creators, the story, the words, the artists, the pencilers, inkers, colorists, letterers, your table of contents. Very nice. With the page number where you can find the issue. Now, before I go any further, I do want to say that in order to talk about this, I have to mention the New 52 era. So if you're not familiar with the New 52 Superman and what happens during his run, then I suggest maybe stop watching this or put it on mute so you can just look at the beautiful artwork as I'm turning the pages, and I'll put a timestamp when I'm done talking about it. How about that? If you look in the description of the video, I'll put the spoilers part and then the non-spoilers part that you can watch the rest of the video. But if you don't care about spoilers, then hey, here we are together. Alright, so let's talk about it. And again, one more time, spoilers as to what happens in the New 52 Superman book. Alright, so in the New 52 Superman comic, the character of Superman ends up passing away. He dies, and you can find out how exactly it is. And we have our pre-Flashpoint Superman return along with Lois and a new son. They have a son together named Jonathan. And that's why he's wearing this outfit right here. So, pretty much without going into a convoluted storyline, because it's DC and besides, some of this stuff has already been retconned, but Superman, Lois Lane, and Jonathan from the world before Flashpoint were somewhere else, in another life. They came through and are now part of this world, this new Rebirth DC universe. So this is the Superman you've known, like he's the one that fought Doomsday, he's the one that died, came back from the dead, and ironically enough, that's what he's doing here. He's waiting for the New 52 Superman to wake up from the grave, because he himself woke up from the grave, and he's like, I know it's coming, and he's talking to Lana here, and he's telling her his backup story, how he's the one that fought Doomsday, he's died in the past, and he came back. All they need is a tool from his Fortress of Solitude to bring back her New 52 Superman. Well, rest assured, you can find out exactly what happens and how they're not able to bring him back but we have the return of Superman because the world still needs a Superman. So the Superman decides to don the costume and honor not just the New 52 Superman, but also his parents and biological and the foster parents that raised him here on Earth. So it all starts here with issue number 1. And here is the non-spoilery part. Now let's look at give the book an overview. Alright, so welcome back everybody that didn't want to be spoiled as to what happened in the New 52. But here we are with Clark Smith. He does have a new name. This part right here, like I said, gives me goosebumps every time. I love it. The colors will fly because the world needs a Superman. So Superman is back. And this time, he has a son. And he's brought his wife, Lois. They are going by Clark, Lois, and Jonathan Smith. And they are in hiding. And you can find out why when you read this. Jonathan is learning about his powers. He doesn't know how to control it. And unfortunately, one of the family pet has to pay for that. We are introduced to this new little lady right here that just introduces herself. She is new to the neighborhood. Kathy, Brandon, and her grandfather just moved in, bought the farmland, and Clark's like, yeah, cool. Jonathan is going to make a new friend. And the Justice League show up to try to recruit this Superman and be like, hey, we need a Superman. Come and join us. And he's like, nah, I'm good. But he wants to teach his son about his culture. And that's basically what this is about. This is why I love this run. This is why this run is so beloved with so many of us. Because it's about family. It's about Superman and Lois Lane raising a son. But not just a son that has superpowers. It's a little boy that is going through changes. Doesn't know how to make friends. He's awkward. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. And all of the story is collected in this omnibus. Everything that Patrick Gleason and Peter Tomasi wrote is collected here. So let's talk about what this collects. This collects Superman, the Rebirth era, 1 through 25, 27 and 28, 33 through 39, 42 through 45, annual number 1, Superman Rebirth 1, which is that first issue. In case you went to the the spoiler section, that's what I was showing. It's just called Superman Rebirth 1. It's how it's kicked off. Superman Special number 1, Action Comics 975 to 976, as well as material from 1000. And Super Sons 11 and 12, and Teen Titans 975 to 976, which is a crossover with the Super Sons and the Teen Titans. It's like the possible future. This is the return of the Eradicator, but is it our Eradicator? But you can find out for yourself how he comes back. But I just want to showcase this artwork. You have Doug Mahnke in here, Jorge Jimenez, and of course Patrick Gleason. They are the main artists on this. Jorge Jimenez actually ends up drawing most of Super Sons, the very first part of Super Sons. So this is the very first place where Damian and Jonathan meet, and they kind of don't like each other from the get-go. With this issue right here. Here we go. It's of course Robin trying to take out this alien life form, just like Batman would try to take down Superman. It's adorable, and this spins off into its own series. It will become Super Sons, and rightly so. That series needed its own ongoing title. We have him team up. There's Doug Mahnke's wonderful artwork. We have him team up with Frankenstein. Here's the fight. I think this one's done by Jorge Jimenez, if I'm not mistaken. It's the fight with Swamp Thing. You have Ivan Reyes comes in and does some of the artwork. For some of the material in here. You have the multiverse story collected in here. And you also have the Superman Reborn crossover with Action Comics, which is written by Dan Jurgens. Written by Dan Jurgens and drawn by Doug Mahnke. And all of it is in here. Whereas the Rebirth Deluxe Editions don't have that. You have to have the Action Comics Rebirth Deluxe Editions to get the full story. But here, you can just have it all in one sitting, as well as the crossover with Super Sons and Teen Titans. So all of that is in here. Now, besides all the awesome artwork that you're seeing here, one of the things you probably are noticing from this omnibus that is missing from some omnis from DC whenever they have a table of contents with the page number are the page numbers. Awesome. I love it. That's great. That's the way it's supposed to work. You look at the page that you want to go read, or the story that you want to go read, and you turn it to that page. So I'm glad that they did include the page numbers. So rest assured that the page numbers are at the bottom of each of the pages. And let me just showcase some more of this artwork. I had to skip a little bit because there are some amazing returning characters for people that have been reading Superman for a long time. Some villains showed up that really surprised the hell out of me during this run. So yeah, you know, you have your typical villains. Lex, of course, donning the Superman costume because towards the end of Justice League New 52, that's what he was wearing, and you can find out why if you go back to the spoiler section or if you just read the books. But here is what the art looks like. It's a great freaking omnibus, one of my most wanted for the month of May, and it is finally here in the last week of May. I think some people already have copies overseas, which is great. Just showcasing the crossover here. But oh, there is an awesome issue. I have to show this. Hold on. This is the Bizarro issue. I love the way this is handled. So of course censoring that final page from the previous issue, but this Bizarro issue is so awesome the way it kicks off. It's from Bizarro's point of view, but if you have if you remember me flipping through that very first issue, it's pretty much a take on the first issue. Awesome. I love when they do stuff like this. And you can keep reading to see exactly how much of the first issue is here through Bizarro's point of view. Coming back here, so I don't spoil any of the stories for anybody that's been wanting to read this for the first time. So here in a minute, we'll look at the extras, and I will be talking about what is missing and whether it was necessary or not. But before we look at the extras, that is one question I do get often, like, am I going to pick this up because it's got missing issues that the deluxe editions didn't? And honestly, if I didn't have a YouTube channel where I was showing off the book, I probably would have been completely fine with my deluxe editions. They're the same height, and they include more stories, with the exception of that Action Comics 1000 material. But if you've not read it, this is the way to go. This is beautiful. This highlights the most important parts of the story. And, well, let's look at the extras, and then we'll talk about what's missing. So we have a variant cover gallery all the way in the back here. So this is all the variant covers from the first issue, the second issue, third issue, and so forth. Drawn by different artists. Kenneth Rocafort, Francis Manipool, I know, draw some. Andrew Robinson. There's a lot of Andrew Robinson in here. Tony S. Daniel, who's actually drawn a couple of arcs in here. Here's one by Gary Frank. See what, if you looked at my Hulk overview, see how different his art is? Still awesome, though. Making sure none of these covers, so I had to skip some, ruin anything that happened inside of the book, so I hate to spoil it for anybody that has not read it, because this book is so damn good. Alright, the book, by the way, like I mentioned, retails for $125 and has 1,128 pages. That is beautiful. That is Dustin Nguyen. Of course, a take on the death of Superman right there by John Boy Myers. That's awesome. And let's skip a little bit more. Get to the character designs, the script here for Father's Day, or just one page, and then the biography. And here's what your bookend pages look like. Let's look at the binding. It's a pretty big eye, but it's also a pretty thick book. And by thick, it's the 1,128 pages, as well as the thickness of the paper, this glossy paper that they are using. Now, compared to the deluxe editions, let's go look at that. Alright, so we have the deluxe edition volume 1 up at the top, and the omnibus edition. And I'm sure you can tell, this is not a trick of the eye because of the angles, but this actually is opening up better than the deluxe edition. I mean, you're still getting minimal gutter loss, but here, you get more of the S than you do up there. Now, that's just something I wanted to point out, because I know some people have asked me how it reads compared to the deluxe edition. Of course, you know, with the deluxe edition, it opens up easier than this, because it will try to shut on you. The pages are heavy, especially towards the beginning, but the more you read it, the more you'll break it in. Just highlighting this issue right here, this is one of my favorite ones. Time travel, love letter to Darwin Cook, but the colors look identical, honestly. Maybe just a little darker in the original deluxe edition Rebirth hardcover. Now, what the deluxe editions do have are the extra stories that are not collected in the omnibus. For example, this one here, I think this is either Keith Champagne. I know there's a James Robinson story. This one's Michael Morecci, that's right. But this is from issue 26, and it's complete in the Deluxe Edition Volume 2. And then when you get to the Superman Deluxe Edition Book 3, this does collect issues 29 through 32, including this badass storyline with the Yellow Lanterns by Keith Champagne. This is the Keith Champagne story, but beautiful artwork here by Doug Mahnke. This one, like I said, is only collected here, but not in the Omnibus. And when you get to the Deluxe Edition Book 4, this does contain issues 40 and 41. So in the Omnibus, it goes from issue 39 directly into that Bizarro book that I was showing, which is freaking awesome. But there's artwork in here. This is the one by James Robinson, but the artwork in here by Ed Benes. Now, there is a small correction I need to make. The 4th Deluxe Edition also contains the story from Action Comics 1000. So what you're really missing with these 4 oversized hardcovers is the crossover with the Teen Titans, those issues, the Action Comics issues, and the Super Sons issues. But everything else is in here. Now, the big question: are those stories in any way impactful? Are they necessary to enjoy this omnibus? Not at all. If anything, they feel like filler issues. Even though I love James Robinson and that kick-ass Keith Champagne Yellow Lantern story, and you know, there are moments in there that shine, but it really doesn't add anything to this. You can read this without missing a beat, and it doesn't feel like anything's missing in here. Those stories were just fill-in issues, which are great, and there's nothing wrong with fill-in issues, right? Look, Dragon Ball Z filler. One of the best ones is Goku and Piccolo go get a driver's license. But if you don't get that reference, what I'm trying to say is you don't need them. They're wonderful. If you're for completist sake, then I absolutely would go the Deluxe Edition route. But if you just want to read the story from cover to cover and enjoy it for what it is and experience one of the best Superman stories that has ever been on paper, oh man, look no further than this omnibus. It's wonderful. And that is my 2 cents. If you're interested in purchasing this book, don't forget to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online source for collected editions up to 50% off retail price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on excellent packaging, so your stuff gets to you in excellent condition, and they have amazing customer service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And for all you Minties that are watching, if you're a first-time customer, don't forget to mention that Near Mint Condition sent you their way for a promotional credit on free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. cheapgraphicnovels.com, your source for the hottest books with deep discounts, customer service, and excellent shipping that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this omnibus. Let me know in the comments down below if you're picking it up, if you're passing up on it, if you already have the deluxe editions and you want to keep them that way, if you wish they had included those orphaned issues, if you want some more of Superman in omnibus editions, what would your most wanted Superman omnibus be? And keep an eye out on the channel. I'll be doing my top 20 most wanted DC omnibus, so that will come out sometime this week. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to check out our spread shop and our Patreon. Amazing ways to support the channel if you can do so. More importantly, everyone, please stay healthy, stay safe, and much love.